Hello YouTube, this is a quick review of the two crank sets which I have, the two chain rings which I have. We have the standard on the Pinarello Dogma 60.1 and the compact on the Titan Striker Ride. If you've been following my video, I'm sure by now you know I started off with the Titan and then I later bought the Pinarello Dogma. The two actually have their own separate reviews, so do check my channel out for those videos that I made some time ago. But this video specifically, I'm going to be talking about the the chain rings, guys. The chain rings, I'm going to talk to you guys about the experience that I had while using the compact on the Titan as well as the standard on the Pinarello Dogma. But just so you guys know, the two bikes are quite different. Titan is aluminium while the Pinarello is a carbon. Titan today weighs around 10.2 kilograms from, I think that was 11.6 before some of the upgrades are made. It had disc brakes, so I had to switch from disc brakes to rim brakes, change the handlebars from aluminium to carbon, change the seat post as well as the saddle to carbon. So that's the reason why the weight is now down to 10.2. And then if you look at the Pinarello, the weight is 8.2 or 8.1, somewhere around there. So let me just start off with the compact, guys. You know what a compact chainring is by now, 5034. The advantages I experienced while using this chainring on this particular bike came when it came to the climbs. I live in a hilly area where there's those 6 kilometers drags from 2 to 5%. So it was quite easy. The 50 is honestly easy to spin because if you look at the small one, I get the small one is 34. For this bike, it's an 1128 speed, but it's a 7-speed, not the best cassette. So it was easier to spin. I enjoyed spinning, guys. I enjoy spinning because I consider myself stronger on the cardio side than on the muscular side. So in terms of the climbs, this chainring is absolutely wonderful for me. I also enjoyed this chainring when it comes to the long distance rides, those grand fondos. It allows me to go longer because it taxes the cardio more than the muscular system. So therefore, my muscles are spared so that I can, be able to get off the saddle on those tough climbs and generally be able to go the long way. So if I'm at a group, I found out that it's easier to keep up with the big guys, especially when it comes to the climbs, because when it gets steep, you just select the easier gear and just spin it. So you're able to maintain 24, 22, 25 kilometers an hour with guys that are using standard chainring. And when you look at them, they'll be bobbing their heads all over the place while you are just spinning and breathing, breathing, spinning, breathing. So the compact is really enjoyable when it came to those situations. And also when it came to the headwinds and the crosswinds. So headwinds and crosswinds, they force you to grind, guys. So on a compact, and you spin the gears, you're able to maintain a certain higher speed, despite the wind, and it's easy to keep up that cadence when you're on this type of chain ring. So that's one thing I enjoyed about it. So windy days were not a problem for me. I just spin it because I know that somebody with a standard chain ring who's spinning at the same cadence as I am is suffering, while I'm not, and I'm able to hold such a speed for a longer time because I'm using the cardio. Now, the disadvantage of the compact is that when it comes to descending, there's a point where you're going to run out of gears, guys. You're really just spinning out. So descending, it's a bit of a problem in that sense that you spin out of gears, even if you're on the 5011. Also, I notice on the flats as well that you're going to reach a point whereby you sort of reach terminal velocity. You can't go any faster than the speed you're going at, even when you're on a tailwind. I've had experiences of guys just cruising past me while I'm spinning 5011 at very high revolutions. But when you look at the guy who's passing me, you can see he's probably on a 53 or 52. And then when you look at the rear sprocket, they're not even on the last one, which is number 11, probably at number 12 or something. And they're just cruising past me on the flat. So it's not ideal when you're trying to go at really high speeds on the flat. Not great for racing, in my opinion, because you're gonna run out of gears, and the guys with the bigger chain rings are just gonna cruise past you. And also, another disadvantage is that if you attack, you mount an attack and you fly away, there's going to be a point where you have to try and hold a particular speed. And if the chasing group decides that we want to rev it up, and those guys are using standard chain rings, they are going to slowly catch up with you, unless you are really spinning high revolutions per minute, high cadences. So that's the disadvantage. Now, if you go on the Pinarello this side, it's a standard, meaning it's 5339. Advantages of it is just pretty much the opposite of the Titan. On the flats, it's very fast. If you can manage to get up to speed and you start spinning that gear, it wants to propel you further and further and further. So, if you have strong legs, get me right, guys. If you have strong legs, you're gonna be good on the flats with the standard chainring. Descending also is super good. After hitting the corner and going down, and you hammer it at high wattages, it responds. The bike just shoots. I also noticed that that is mainly the flats and descent. That's the advantage of the standard. This leaves me with the disadvantages, because I can't think of any other advantage of the standard apart from flats and descents. So because the chain ring is huge, guys, it takes you a little bit longer to complete a revolution. So mostly I'll say you're grinding at any cadence compared to the standard. You're gonna be slower on the standard than the compact in terms of getting the crank to spin to complete one revolution. Therefore, you're taxing your muscular system. So in terms of the climbs, guys, hey, shoo. For me, I suffer a lot. I'm lucky because the bike is lighter than the Titan, but apart from that, just being able to just spin it, and it's those teeth, the revolutions, it taxes my muscles a lot. So you find out that once I get to the summit, I'm just knackered. I feel a lot exhausted compared to when I'm using this bike. Sometimes in those super steep climbs, I would be on the 39 and 29 sprocket at the back, but I'll still be suffering. So in terms of the climbs, it's not the best. Even on windy days, you'd be lucky. Kind of sometimes it also depends on the wind speed. If it's speeds that allow you to spin at roughly around the same rate and speed as the compact, then you're lucky. But once the wind really picks up and it forces you to grind because you ran out of gears, then it's gonna be a problem for you. So and on windy days, I've had troubles, guys, with the compact. With the standard chain ring. a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to windy days as well as the climbs. So yeah, it's not the best choice in those senses, but otherwise, well, overall, if you were to ask me which chain ring I would choose between the two, mm, honestly, honestly, if you were to ask me, I would say I would choose the standard, guys. It's a bit of a tricky one because I do enjoy the compact a lot, and I'm not really like a racer or anything, you know. But honestly, I'd go for the standard because I believe some of the weaknesses that are a result of the size of the chain ring, you can bridge it across by modifying your fitness. If I could work on my leg strength, do squats, leg presses, all those lunges and stuff, and build the strength in my legs, it will allow me to have enough strength to maintain spinning the big gear because already my cardio is relatively fine. So if I could just work on my leg strength, then I should be able to cope with to bridge the disadvantages of the standard chain ring. I mean, I've seen guys who are skinny actually spinning this big gear and really moving. I'm a bit of a bulky guy. I weigh 82 kgs and I'm relatively muscular compared to some of these skinny guys I see on the road. So this is something which you and I can work on and just be good at it. And one thing I can tell you is that once you build the leg strength and your cardio is up and running, even on a climb, it's possible for you to just beat somebody who's on a compact chain ring because already on the flat you're gonna beat them, on a tailwind you're gonna beat them, but on those long climbs, if you can just work on the weaknesses, you can pretty much just hold on to the wheels of them and maybe even inch away from them. But anyway, that's that, guys. That's my review. I've had ideas of actually taking this compact and or maybe switching this Pinarello to a compact chain ring. But I feel I'll be like taking a shortcut. Let me just work on my own fitness and just see how it goes. But if at all I make any changes and put the compact chain ring on this bike, I'll make a review of it and then I'll upload on YouTube so that you guys can see. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Um, in terms of what you want to do, because I'm pretty sure you tuned into this video maybe because you were not sure which chain ring is better, which one to choose, or you just want to compare. Generally, it's all about personal perception, guys, and what you want to achieve in cycling. If it's just for weight loss, keeping fit, you're going to enjoy the compact. You're going to enjoy because you're not competing with anyone. You're just cycling, sweating away the fat and all this stuff. So you'll enjoy cycling with the compact. But if you want performance and speed and those gains and breaking segments, being able to keep up with the elites, then a standard should be okay for you, or a semi-compact, one of the two. So that's my review, guys. Thank you so much for watching.